Good morning, mercy. You call me worthy. Feels like the sun shining on my face. Living's good this side of grace. I feel it working. Goodbye to the hurting. You woke me up, put me on my way. Hallelujah, it's a brand new day. Good morning, mercy.
June the 11th, a Tuesday morning, a very pleasant start to your Tuesday, 60 degrees in downtown Sylacauga. Always an honor to have Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl with us this morning. And Mayor, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jimmy Dale.
Is it true, the rumor I'm hearing, that you're going to be on the slide at the water event at Bluebell today?
I haven't
Central
heard
Park?
a word about it.
I started that rumor, by the
Did
way.
you?
Yeah.
Well, so I got to show up now. All right.
Always a pleasure to have you with. Talk a little bit about what's going on in Sylacauga right now.
Well, I think the last issue of the Sylacauga today was quite in-depth on everything that happened at the last council meeting, and money is the issue again, you know, and they're looking at anywhere from, they had three bondsmen come in, three companies come in there, and they looked at it. They ranged everywhere from 0.6% per thousands to anywhere from 1.25% per thousand. You know,
Now, let's stop right here.
okay.
For the layman,
For the bonds
who
and
don't know about that stuff, explain it.
Okay. Well, there's bonds. That's what they charge per thousands on the bonds that you borrow. If you borrow 30, 40, 50 million dollars, you know, they get that much percentage per thousand. And that's how they figure their cost.
So why are we borrowing money?
Well, imagine because of the community center.
Okay.
Personally, I need money for the streets. So I've got everything from Rocky Ridge Road to Fairmont and everything in between. Well, we need paving issues, and that's quite expensive, about $2.5 million. We got drainage issues, got a couple $1 million in that. We got to get our drainage under control. We got most of it fixed, you know, on, up there Spring Street and right here on First Street. Now we need to move farther north up there and get those other areas cleaned out and opened up. And that takes money. We have other capital issues. We got buildings throughout the city, you know, not only the City Hall and the library and the Parks and Rec building, but the building on 3rd Street, and we got other city buildings. We still got the Food World building, and these things take money to maintain them. If we don't, they're going to lose them. Of course, I'm not worried about the Food World building. It's pretty well shot anyway. It's going to take $750,000 just to fix the roof on that one. I wish we had Tractor Supply in there when we had the opportunity, but anyway.
What are the priorities, or what should the priorities be here?
In my opinion, infrastructure, something that affects all the people, and our roads affect all the people. It affects the quality of our properties.
You know, I must say, a lot of the roads in Sylacauga are in bad repair.
You ever driven down Valley Lane? Have you ever seen Spring Hill Drive? Spring Hill Drive, every time we have a heavy rain, poor Reed, he's got to go out there and redo the roof for that whole road. It's so in such bad shape, you know. We've got a lot of issues. Right now, the only thing we're able to do is pothole, backfill potholes, and that's becoming a regular thing just about every day.
Wow.
But we've got to, I like to get to the point where we're going to be proactive rather than reactive, you know, and I've started eating away with that, but that takes a lot of communication, a lot of cooperation between parties, you know.
It's amazing how much the world centers around money, isn't it?
Well, it is, and I know they're looking at $1.7 million to look at the design and construction of the new community center, and they're looking at that money to be. Find out. We'll probably have it by the next meeting, Tuesday week, but that's $1.7 million just for that, you know. And
now that's to build it, or
no, that's just for the design and the construction engineering.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Oh yeah, nothing's cheap. But you know, the funny part about that, now you take that $1.7 million there, and you look at how much new tax revenue is brought into the city, $1.7 million. That's all we've accumulated in the past, what, 9 months? And we thought we'd be somewhere around 4 million that thought they were going to get 4. Well,
that's pretty good.
Well, 1.7 million is a long ways from 4 million.
It is, but
for what was anticipated, you know.
Yeah, and
money is well, they say it's the root of all evil, but we got to keep it moving, you know. But What bothers me, I want to find out how this national election is going to come out this September. I'd like to find out which way this country's economy is going to go.
Yeah, that's coming up in November for sure.
It is.
I know I saw a story this morning about State Representative District 33 Ben Robbins and the Mill Village. And how's the city of Sylacauga plugging into that?
Well, as you know, that we communicated with the county and we acquired the streets and also the right-of-ways, or the 5-foot easements on each side of the streets. And at that time, I thought we were going to be, the property would be go along with that, because that's property tax that we could have used to maintain the roads. Now we got the roads and no money to maintain them. It's just simple things like that that's happened in the past that people, for whatever reasons, did not follow through on some things. And I can understand, you know, some of the reasons, you know.
Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl, our guest this morning. Getting back to the community center, you know, we, to be just point blank, we messed around with this for a long time. Many years it's been being kicked back and forth. It would have been great if they would have done this maybe 7 years ago when interest rates were down to about nothing. Right now, it's going to cost us 4.6% interest on any bonds we purchase. But back then, it would cost us just about nothing on interest, you know, and the cost would have been a lot less, and we probably could have already been breaking ground by now. But that's, I don't know, it's just so many people, ideas and all that come in there together rather than sitting down and being proactive. This is what we have to have. And, but I know the council's after that, but I'm after infrastructure. We've got fire engine issues. Right now, our fire department is sitting down there with a fire engine that we borrowed, because 53, we'll have 53 back on the ground today. I talked to the shop this morning. They're going to have that one ready. 51 should be ready in the next couple of days. But of course, we still have the issues with the ladder truck. The only issue with that is the cable that raises, and hydraulics that raises, the cable is starting to fray. And it's dangerous for anybody to be in that bucket. But that thing can still operate without raising the bucket. And but we do have fire engine issues. And now the council's already approved one, but it's going to take another couple of years before we get that. And that's almost $1 million right there. Well, Mayor, give me some good news this morning.
Okay, it's a beautiful day with 60 degrees. Sunshine's going to be in the low 80s, about 83 today. It's going to be a beautiful day. Let's go play golf.
Jim Neighbors at the Coleman Museum went well, I understand.
It went quite well. I went by there. They had a great turnout, and I was impressed with the amount of memorabilia they had from him. You know, all his records, the pictures, all the going way back to the years when he first got into singing and into the various movies or the TV shows. Carol Burnett,
Andy Griffith.
And Andy Griffith, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
But that was a good family show.
Yeah.
And also this Friday at 10 o'clock, we will be honoring Lucille Anderson, a well-known, beautiful person. We have planted a tree in her remembrance, and her family has provided a stone in her remembrance there, but we'll remember her. Last year, October the 14th.
Well, you don't replace people like that, you know?
Well, you don't. You know, 30 years where she was at and the lives that she touched and the people that remember that she changed so many people's lives.
Yeah.
And what she did for our community with the Planning Commission, the Beautification Council. She was one of the founders of the school board, not the school foundation, you know, for the chairs. And she raised so much money for the poor and feeding people on Thanksgiving. She was so involved with everything, but she was quite an icon for our Planning Commission.
That's going to be Friday?
That's going to be Friday at 10 o'clock, 10 in the morning. And we'll have a little reception in the foyer of the City Hall.
Let's go out on Highway 280.
Okay.
And talk about what's going on there.
Well, as you know, the wharf has laid some bricks down. They're going to start bricking that thing up. It looks like they're doing it stages. Last time I talked to him, he said that he should be ready to open up by November or December this year. Right now he's involved with another location where the building was already constructed. So it's getting better down there. He got a little bit consideration from the city, you know, to help them out a little bit before he can go. Milo's is closed, as you know, but
Why did that close, Mayor?
I really don't know. It's either food, service, or cost. I really don't know.
Or all three?
It could be all three, but Bojangles will be going in there.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with Bojangles. I can't recall
Yeah.
ever going to one, but
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people like Bojangles,
Yeah.
so hopefully it'll do
But-
well here.
You know, where they're located, next to that building there, they're sort of out of the sight.
Yeah.
And, but you got good food, good service, and a reasonable price. You
Yeah.
know, people don't mind.
Yeah.
People pay good money for good service and good food anywhere.
People, and I don't understand how we can have a Lloyd's that was thriving in Inverness. They open up with great anticipation here in Sylacauga. Milo's that you know, people are looking forward to, and neither made it, but in Inverness, I mean, it was really good. I don't know what the difference is.
Well, I know. I went out of my way to eat there several times, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, the quality of food and service and everything else, and
Yeah.
the prices changed down here, you know.
And people looking for,
And, you know, the original, the father of all that, you know, he passed away, you know.
Yeah.
And the kids started picking it up. It could have
Yeah.
been a good bit of inexperience with management.
yeah, and
Who knows?
you got businesses begging for employees.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get that.
Well, that's one thing that I'm very tickled about. Our HR person, Laura, at the chamber, opened up a job fair down at the community center, down at the J. Craig, a couple, 3 weeks ago. And our HR person went down there and set up a booth. We got 16 applicants. And since then, she has been able to fill several of our vacancies throughout the city. We've got them in the court's office, got them in the clerk's office. We got the animal shelter completely full. They're fully staffed.
That's great.
And the street department doesn't lack much more. The police, the street department, yeah, they're getting close. They got about 2 more to go. Police department still has 6. Fire department, they'll be interviewing today lieutenants for that department. But overall, it's we were surprised at the amount of people coming in, you know, and I can thank HR a lot, you know, for what she's doing to get employees into our city.
Yeah.
She's going out and reaching out to them.
Yeah, well, I just know, especially the fast food industry is just.
Well, it is, but
Yeah.
you know, they say now with the economy the way it is, that fast food is a luxury.
Yeah. Hey, James Payton Boulevard, aren't we doing something out there?
James Payton Boulevard, it's not that's not on James Payton. It's pretty well. You're talking about the light at James
Yeah,
Payton
yeah,
511. Yes, well, that's going to be about a $300,000 match project on that. Yes, we forgot the engineering out of it and everything else. Well, Michael Rice texted me yesterday, said he would like to sit down and talk to us one more time about this project. But it's been on the drawing board for a while.
Is there going to be some paving done out there?
The paving is going to be across 280 at
Okay, on the other side.
other side.
Yeah.
That's where all the big trucks and
Yeah.
all. Michael Rice was handling that. Also, part of that is in the county from the tracks south is in the county, but they agreed, you know, that they would pay us for the part that for paving that section. We do the paving, they would pay for it.
Yeah.
Basically, what we did on Avondale Avenue.
I want you to take about 5 minutes and speak to your constituents, speak to your citizens of Sylacauga, and talk to them point blank about our city and what you see going forward.
What I've always looked for to provide our citizens and our city with the best quality of life that we could possibly afford. We cannot afford, you know, some of the larger cities, but we need to live within our means. We need things, yes, we need things. Things were, in my past, what I'm used to having, all of a sudden, because of the way things were handled, we lost it. The pool, we should have never lost. We should have been preparing for that years ago. But we got a lot of good things still going on in Sylacauga. The economy is kind of hard on us right now. Inflation is getting to us. I mean, people are hurting. They can't go out and eat like they used to. I noticed that some of the restaurants I've attended, not that I attend them all that often, but we need you to contact your council people, find out what they're doing, ask them what they're doing. call them up, go visit them, come to the council meetings and listen to them, what they're saying. Right now, we got our HR person, very talented, educated, experienced individual who takes our work session and everything on that work session, which is to be voted on by the council. She sits there and reads every bit of it, every line, and asks the council, do you have any questions? You need to be there too to ask these questions as well if they don't make sense to you. We need to work together. Like I said, I love to be proactive, that where these streets are already being taken care of year after year after year. Our fire trucks are maintained year after year after year. We take care of things ahead of time and don't let them sit on the side of the road and deteriorate like we let the slim poo sit on the side of the road and deteriorate. And to come up here and say, well, it's got a sinkhole under it, the walls have fallen and it won't hold water. All this baloney, you know, it's not fair to the people of Sylacauga. This is your city. I love this city. I'm going to do everything I possibly can as mayor to push, but it takes executive and legislative bodies working together. Right now, as Jimmy Dale and I met last time, Jimmy Dale said, well, council, you got 2 here, 1 there, 1 here, and 2 there. But they need to come together too, and you need to talk to your council people and find out what you want.
We hired them, didn't we?
You elected them. They work for you. I work for you. I work for the city of Sylacauga. My responsibility is all 9 departments, and I work with my department heads. And my department heads, they control their workforce, the people under them. That's the way I do it. And I don't want this department to go out here and telling this other department what they can do or can't do, because you stick your nose in their business, it's going to fall back on you. And I think that anything happens in this city, it has to do with the executive branch, it falls on me. I think what happens in the legislative branch needs to fall on the legislature. We need to answer these questions. People need to know. We're working hard. The hospital needs help. I've worked with 3 different groups that may be able to help us with the hospital. Yes, they wanted some money from the city, but we just haven't got that kind of money right now. And we just need to be very conservative. Like I said before, I'm sort of concerned about this national election coming up. I don't know which way it's going to go, but I'm going to vote my conscience. You know, I don't care less how y'all vote, but you vote your conscience. But I'm going to try and do what's best for our city of Sylacauga. We got some wonderful things happening. You saw what the kids did up there at the old cemetery. I mean, beautiful things like that where people are coming together and doing things. Right now, have you ever seen people go out and do as much work on their homes and their buildings and their lots to make them to improve the outward appearance of everything? And the city's trying to do the same thing. And we got to keep our best foot forward. We got a lot of people coming through Sylacauga. They're flying in here. Of course, most of them going down there to play golf, you know, some of the big names. But that's great. I mean, it's wonderful. But our tourists, our Marble Fest, it's some things like that's coming up. What we got coming up this weekend for the kids at the Central Park and communities and the food truck Fridays and things like that we want to build up.
I hear people say, well, we don't have anything to do, but we do.
We do.
You know?
But it all depends what their interests are. And they need. I try to figure out, how do you let these people know this? We got a website. Well, it's not very good, but I got a website. If you go to the City of Sylacauga and bring it up and it says City of Sylacauga, tap on that, and you'll see me up there and you'll see all 5 councilmen. And you can send us notes, and they got our names, addresses, our phone numbers, everything on. Give us a call. I mean, call us. I know we got an issue. We got an issue with the GFL garbage truck right now. I don't know what that is, but it's dropping garbage, and they got to get that thing under control. And my main thing is getting our fire engine back on there, before we can, the ones we're borrowing from Oak Grove, we can give them their fire engine back, you know. But that's one wonderful thing we do have about firemen. They do all work together.
Before we go this morning, I know a question's been asked to you many times, and to the council as well. And I have people ask me, when are we going to have a pool?
I will show you. Well, you can have it tomorrow. If you want to go ahead and borrow $50 million or $30 million or $50 million, you can go ahead and go and set it up now. Just like say, the council wants $1.7 million now for the design and the construction of the pool, or of the building for the pool. That's what the $1.7 million is for.
So the location now is nil. We're not going to have anything to do with that, right?
Well, they decided that's city property. They said that's where they want it. That's the council. The council controls all the money of the city and all the properties. I've got to go to them. Right now, we're sending out our pamphlets, our schedules for our budget for 2025. We're starting that now. I've got to get that out. And we don't know, that's going to be quite expensive. But we've got to have fire trucks. We've got to have police cars. We've got to have a certain amount of equipment.
So
We've got to have
you're
employees.
concerned about the dollars of this city.
Well, I am. The council has spent. I mean, we spent a lot of money, and that's the reason we had to wait until last October. We asked you, please give us time, give us 6 months. Well, you gave us 6 months. Thank you very much. Right now, we got it. We got it all paid up. Everybody got everything else. But now they want more, you know. And they thought that when we raised 1.5%, they said, oh, we'll have $4 million, we'll do this, that, and the other. But after 9 months, we haven't got but $1.7 million. And it's going to take a while, you know, and right now, the way the economy is, the tax revenue is not coming in like it was. I mean, we see it all the time. It comes in every week, you know, and so, gosh, it's down. This is just a few $100s. Well, last week it was over 15,000, you know. And but people are not out there spending money like they used to.
So we anticipated that
You anticipate something, but you better find out, get the facts before you better look at the economy.
Yeah, yeah. Mayor, thanks so much for coming this morning. It's
Well,
always
it's my
a pleasure.
pleasure. You know, it's always good to be here in Daybreak and have our lovely people and our lovely city, you know, and we want to do everything we possibly can.
What you say about the people watching, the people that live in this city, they need to get involved in the process, not just trust our council, not just trust our mayor, but to say, hey, why are we doing this?
Yeah, ask questions. It's your council. It's your money. That's whose money it is. It's yours. Ask these questions. I'd be glad to answer every question I possibly can. And if I can't answer it, I'll tell you who you need to ask to find out who it is. But yeah, the economy is very. I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned about the amount of money we're spending and the way we're spending it. But I've got to have so much to run the city on.
Yeah.
That's my main goal. We got to have so much to provide you with the security and the protection and the property values that you own. That's what we got to do.
So you're open to people if they want to come talk to you?
Absolutely. Okay. My door's open all the time. Okay. You can call me on my phone, 256-404-4790. 4790. I'll be glad to talk to you anytime. And my door's always open. You can just come on up there. You don't have to have an appointment. The only appointments I usually have when people are out of town coming through, you know. Right. But I've been working with Tuberville's field reps and Mike Rogers field reps and Gator Ritz field reps and trying to get us some help for our city in areas that we need, you know.
All right. Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl, our guest this morning. Always a pleasure to have him with us, and we'll continue with more Daybreak right after this.